This is Brian Anderson with Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke. Allie LaForce, our reporter.
Here we go.
And it's just the nature of their rivalry. Both teams will look to start fast, and each one trying to seize control of the tempo early.
And part of it is they know each other so well. The team that executes best is likely going to come away with the W.
Pass to Wembanyama. The shot that time not on target. And Grant, offensively, Wemby has a lot of different options. Talk about his game.
Well, put simply, we've never seen a 7-footer with this array of skills. He's an efficient shooter from anywhere, and the length to just about ignore defenders. I mean, he's got it all.
Now here's Fox. Gordon with a steal. And they're on the run. The three from Curry. And he jams it home with authority.
If you had a question as to how Dwight Howard is up there amongst the all-time leaders in offensive rebounds, that's an example why.
Here's Fox. A reliable offensive contributor, putting up almost 14 a game. The shot by Wembanyama, no good.
Probably should have scored there. He usually does.
On the wing, Simons. Looking at his stats, he's putting up about 7.5 per game. Just 5 to shoot. The Nets need to get off a shot here. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Fox. Pass to Wembanyama. Oh, Wembanyama throws it down.
And Wembanyama can dunk it basically just standing up. You got to keep him out of the paint.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Jordy Fernandez. Jaren Jackson Jr. was the topic, and coach was impressed by the tape. He said, the more I watch of Jaren, the more I'm convinced he's the best defensive player in the league. He does so much for their team, and we're going to have to be hyper aware of his weak side help tonight. Coach isn't alone on that appraisal. Brian, back over to you.
Great work, Allie. Thanks.
And with the 8-foot wingspan of Wembanyama, it feels like he releases the ball halfway to the bucket.
Well, big man that makes their free throws. Bravo.
Now here's Simons. Outside Curry. Over Jackson. Brooklyn, no good that time either.
Boy, he looks and will take that shot every time. Just won't go.
Well, Grant, last season, the Nets retired number 15, the jersey of Vince Carter.
Yeah, half man, half amazing. In his half-decade in New Jersey, making 3 All-Star teams, 2 as a starter, and joins his former teammate Jason Kidd amidst the 7 jerseys we see hanging above us.
You see the fear that Curry and his ability to shoot with range, it opens up other aspects, whether the drive or, in that instance, the midi.
Now here's Fox. And Fox powers it home.
Wow. I'll tell you, such an advantage having a playmaker who can get up to the rim and finish.
Now that is what every team wants.
Oh, you love it. Fearless, aggressive, leaving no doubt whatsoever.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Now here's Fox. To the middle. Here's Wembanyama. Can't cash it in from close range.
Yeah, just a little off his game this quarter. He's trying to work his way into a rhythm.
Here's our test. Pass to Wembanyama. .105 left in the first quarter. Here's Barnes. New York needs to get one up quick. The timer ticks. Brooklyn trailing. Outside Curry. Oh, Fox with a steal. Outside for Wembanyama. That one falls. His second make in 5 attempts.
Yeah, this is what everyone wants to see Wembanyama doing. Dominating on the inside.
Outside Curry. solid as a rock from 20 feet out.
Well, that's a bad shot until it goes through the net.
Fox left side. Outside for Wembanyama. Off target from outside. Here's Curry. Over Fox. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. Well, a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And what's your take, guys, here on the hustle stats for the Knicks?
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
Another big component of their early game tonight has been points off turnovers. Great job converting on those chances.
Spot-up shooters now adding a one-dribble pull-up three to the repertoire.
Yeah, when you have defenders selling out to contest that catch and shoot, you got to reload, relocate, and let it fly. It's a valuable counter for those long-distance specialists.
Green. Brooklyn pulls it in. Curry surveys. Over Green. They get it again. And he can't jam it through. The Knicks with the lead. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Green. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, those who've worked with Nets coach Jordy Fernandez rave about his people skills. He said, quote, "Am I very good at it? I don't know, but I try because I think it's important. When you have that relationship, especially in the tough moments, is when you can break through and be successful. Without it, it's tough, so you try to build it." Back to you guys.
Thank you, Allie. And New York has possession. Following the three by Brooklyn. Here's Wembanyama. Gordon pulls it in. And it's Simons with the ball to the Nets. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Pass to Howard. Fires it. Boy, clanks that one off the back iron and it falls. Curry's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, pre-shot preparation and being ready on the catch, that is Stephen Curry in a nutshell.
And the call is going to be, yes, on an illegal screen.
You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when the illegal screen is set.
Oh, not the defensive effort they need to cut into the lead.
Boy, good call. You have to at least try to protect the rim.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
Three from Barnes. Drops in the three. Barnes has gotten himself on the board with a three there.
The improvement in Barnes' deep range just helps his offense space the floor.
Pass to Curry. Shot is up. And Brooklyn again with a bucket.
They are passing the ball around tremendously right now.
No doubt, Stephen Curry is the best shooter of all time. Talk about what makes him special, Grant.
Well, B.A., he can hit shots under the most difficult circumstances, off balance, with only a sliver of daylight. And this is why teams often choose to double him the moment he crosses half court.
Now here's Curry. 11 points in the game. Gordon can't hit.
And the idea was good, but the execution severely lacking.
Just a missed connection, and it happens. I'm sure they will go back to it if given the opportunity.
Well, we all know he's a good scorer, but Green also facilitates very well.
And Jordy Fernandez wants a timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. So both teams making some changes here. And here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Tipped away. And they're pushing it up by himself. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Yeah, the big body of Johnson getting up on the fast break.
And Brooklyn with possession here. Pass to Curry. paint. Here's Valanciunas. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Curry. Valanciunas has gotten his second bucket.
And another great assist. The offense is really clicking now.
Fox outside. Offline with a three. The Nets with the lead. Here's Okogie. And there's the foul. It's on Keldon Johnson. That's his first foul.
Tough break for the defense. I mean, he took the hit, but he didn't get the call.
Now here's Curry. 11 points in the game. 6 to shoot. Inside. Here's Williams. Throws it down, and the official calls a foul. It may be a three-point play. That's on Mo Wagner. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
They've done a great job facilitating so far. So moving the rock and finding the open man, just great selfless basketball.
Yeah, and their assertiveness in the paint so far tonight has been impactful. They're really making it hard for the interior defense.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
This is his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
13 foul.
That free throw, no good. One of the most exciting teams in the league, Doris, the New York Knicks.
BA, there's a saying that the NBA is better when the New York Knicks are in the house, and they are good. How about the resurgence over the last 5 years? They want to win now, and that rabid fan base is eating up all this success.
The kick out to Johnson. Back to Fox. Here's the three. Washington grabs the miss. Now here's Curry. Got it up. And that's not going to go. Stephen Curry getting it done for Brooklyn. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. And don't go far. We'll be right back. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Now here's Fox. Wembanyama laid it in with a nice touch off the window. 8 points for Victor Wembanyama.
This can be a simple game. Get the ball to Wemby, let him score.
Up top, Curry. From 17, up again. It's good on the putback. And the Nets lead by 1. Extremely competitive game thus far.
Yeah, 6 lead changes in total. I expect there to be more to come.
Ooh, using his speed. Fox.
Such a terror on the drive. Fox possesses blow-by speed, getting past defenders in a hurry.
On the wing, Curry. Finds it again. 6 for 12 and remaining assertive.
Trading the lead back and forth, neither side is willing to back down.
And right now you love the chess match, right? The ability of each side to adjust to what the other is doing.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, PA. Victor Wembanyama is trying to gain strength, but he said it's important not to lose your mobility. So bulking up is not a good word. It's more being stable. That's the way to keep going. I don't need to bulk up. I need to get my core stronger. I need to get solid. Back to you.
That approach makes sense. All right, Allie, thanks for the report. And the second free throw is good. And Grant, the Nets have shown the capacity to rebuild quickly in the past.
Yeah, playing in a big market helps, but they've pivoted decisively from their Big Three era and have the picks and flexibility to make moves.
Now here's Barnes, averaging around 5 points a game. Screen by Gordon. Here's Curry. Hits the front of the rim and out.
He's got a great defensive mind. He gets good position and affects the release.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
And Curry's got the ball here for the Nets. 2-point game. Gordon outside. Outside Curry. And the Nets miss again. And here's Fox. He's got 6. Barnes feeling it out a bit. Back to Wembanyama. Pass to Artest. Up and over Gordon. New York, no good that time either. And now we've got an intentional foul.
I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Right around 3 minutes into this second half. Washington a screen. And it's Simons penetrating. Banked it in off the glass. Simons got his second bucket on the night.
This close in, Simons is consistent. The defense really can't allow him to find that look.
Outside Wembanyama. Barnes a screen. They still need this. And it's Wembanyama laying it in. Wembanyama's got 10 points in the game.
When it's this close, every bucket matters. You need good looks.
Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Connects from downtown. He's got 17.
Boy, that's his second three. First of this half, though.
Jackson the screen. Green going right at the rim. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move! He's got a chance for one more at the line. P.J. Washington picks one up, and he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight.
And the growth of Jackson Jr. is downright scary, especially defensively. This guy has been upping his game, and no opponent is happy about that.
And the basket by Curry.
And he's coming off a huge performance, and his confidence couldn't be any higher. And his coach knows that, too.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. A big group substitution here for New York. Here's Green. Green takes it to the rack.
I love it. What concentration. Green taking the contact well and converting with confidence.
They set a pick. The kick out. Curry. To the inside. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Such confidence as a passer. Hits guys in stride and makes it look easy.
Pass to Green. Outside, Green. Filipowski sets a screen. 5 on the clock. Back to Green. Over Curry. And it's Green missing. It's stolen by Green. And we've reached the end of the third. Brooklyn out in front. Up by 4. And coming up is
New York, 32.
3 tense quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we get ready for the fourth. And we'll have a timeout called by Mike Brown. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Mike Brown was saying to the team. He told them, quote, if we'd worked harder on the glass, we'd probably be up right now. Show some heart. Show some pride. It was a very direct message. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Allie. And it's Simons missing.
Nothing more important than protecting the rim, folks, and that's exactly what they get.
Wembanyama up top. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Artest. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. Dwight Howard picks one up.
I don't mind that. I mean, they met him at the rim and temporarily prevented the points.
So he can't get either to fall. Brooklyn leading by 4. Down low. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Dwight Howard has made a living off of dunks. My goodness.
Now the Knicks with it. Fox outside. Outside Wembanyama. From outside the arc. Gets the 3 ball to go.
And this is just typical of him. Always making an impact at crucial moments in the game.
And this is a player who understands when the game is hanging in the balance. He knows it's winning time.
Curry's shot is off. Knicks trail by 3. Fox outside. Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense given the situation.
And Jordy Fernandez calls timeout. No doubt he's going to utilize the opportunity to make sure they're all on the same page here. Here's Fox. Pass to Jackson. Clock at 6. Back to Fox. To the paint. Gordon with a steal. Outside Curry. Screen by Gordon. Curry, no good. Knicks trail by 3. To the inside. Wembanyama. Oh! Wembanyama throws it down.
And the offensive skills of Wembanyama are a huge part of his high value. And nice to see him delivering.
Outside Curry. Howard, the screen. Oh, the drop pass, and he dunks it down.
I'll tell you, running the pick and roll to perfection right there is Dwight Howard. Nice, strong roll to the cup.
Wembanyama screen. Fox. Oh, it misses. Had a chance to tie it. And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th now. Curry. Wembanyama there for the rebound. Knicks trail by 3. Fox takes it inside. Curry there for the rebound. Howard, a screen. Oh, that's a man on a mission right there.
Dwight Howard with the timely bucket. Go ahead, good sir.
Fox. Here's Wembanyama. Can't hit it.
I understand why he took the shot. They need the points. It's just not a good look.
Curry outside. Howard, the screen. Now Curry. And De'Aaron Fox picks up the foul. That's his 4th foul of the contest. And it's Mike Brown calling timeout here. Great time to call his guys into the huddle at a very tense moment in this game. On the wing, Curry. Wembanyama rips down the board. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Simon's outside. Now Curry. 17-footer is in.
They have a relentless mentality, even with the game in total control.
This is a textbook example of playing the possession and not the score. This team is doing a great job continuing to execute.
And so it's Curry with it. He brings it up for Brooklyn. 7-point game, biggest lead so far. So we see Brooklyn get the win here. I'm sure they would have preferred a blowout victory, but a win's a win.
And so true, but you have to credit the crowd for giving them such a big boost toward the end. It really kept this team's energy high.
And that'll do it, folks.